What's up guys, HumeCarJack here and welcome back to the channel. So if you guys saw my previous video, you know that I have a low compression motor. It is cylinder 1. So to give you guys an idea of what could be a possible indication of a low compression motor, go ahead and play the clip. So for me, whenever I'd start up the car, there'd always be a puff of white smoke. It does smell kind of off. I don't know if it smells like oil or coolant. I know that definitely plays a role, but I know that it definitely is burning oil and things like that, so something is not right. Also, after I let it idle a little bit, it does keep puffing out that white smoke, so that's also an issue. But we're going to try and attempt a temporary solution for that today. We're going to be using Engine Restorer, the 4-cylinder version of it, along with doing a compression test with our compression tester here. I want to give you guys a quick rundown for those of you who haven't checked out the video. If you haven't, go ahead and click the link right up top over there on your screen right now. But let me give you guys a quick rundown. So basically, I brought my car to my tuner about a month ago, and he went ahead and tried to tune it up, boost up the power just a little bit more. We had issues with our stock turbo inlet, so we went ahead and put a Perrin one on there. That kind of seemed to fix some of the boost issues because there was a crack in it. We went ahead and fixed that. We thought we had a short in our Grimmspeed boost controller. We actually did, and we replaced that. That also fixed that issue. But as the tuning shop kind of went a little bit more into the engine bay and everything, and into the engine, they saw that there were some deeper issues. One of the issues being that our turbo has a lot of play in it, so I'm actually going to be getting a new one sometime soon, probably around Black Friday. And two, after doing a compression test, they found that cylinder 1 is much lower than the other 3 cylinders. I'll go ahead and put them on screen right over there. So you guys could see that cylinder 1 is way lower than the other 3 cylinders. It was about 95, I believe, while the other ones are at like the 180 to 190 range. So that's definitely an issue. And I want to give you guys the latest update from what Subaru of America said. So basically, we had a case with Subaru of America. We went ahead and tried our luck at seeing if they would replace the stock short block, which I wasn't expecting them to. And sure enough, they didn't. We brought it to the dealership. They basically determined that they cannot replace the stock block, which is okay. Like, I respect them for that. Like, I totally understand. But they did a few more tests that the tuning shop that I go to didn't do. So they basically performed a leak down test and found that there is a 50% leak in cylinder 1, which is pretty crazy, and that it might be leaking. Actually, I have it right here just to get the full information on it. I'll put it on screen for you guys to read too, but let me just read it out. So the technician note states that the engine is clearly burning oil. The leak down test proves that cylinder 1 is weak, as a leak of 50% was verified. The air is leaking through the rings. This vehicle will need an engine block, and an inspection of the valve seats and clearances will need to be performed. There's evidence of modifications to the exhaust, blah, 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 and basically all the modifications that I did. So according to the technician notes, we are leaking through the rings, which Engine Restorer is, they claim at least, that is supposed to help with. I read on their website that it is designed for any sorts of leaks and things like that, and it also is designed for turbocharged cars, so it can go on pretty much anything. I know that a couple of Hondas and certain cars are excluded, but I think it should work on our application. So we already let the car idle up to operating temperature. We're going to go ahead and remove that cylinder 1 spark plug. We're just going to be doing that one since that is the faulty one. Both Subaru of America and my tuning shop verified that that is the one that has the issue and the only one, so I'm only going to be looking at that one just so I don't have to remove everything over here and take the whole car apart and remove all the spark plugs. We're going to go ahead and do the compression test just to confirm that it is the 95 and whatnot. And we're going to be doing a bit of an experiment. So after we get the reading on cylinder 1, we're going to go ahead and do an oil change. We're going to add the engine restorer into the oil as well. And then it claims that you have to drive it anywhere between 200 to 1,000 miles, and then you can see a boost in your compression. So we're going to go ahead and do that whole experiment. I'm probably going to go ahead and do it after the 1,000 miles, or retest it after the 1,000 miles. Another thing that we're going to do after we drain the oil, we're going to go ahead and cut open our oil filter and see if there are any sort of metal shavings or anything like that. Anything that's basically indicative of detonation or signs that the engine is really worn down, that it's been coming apart or anything like that. If that is the case, then you might just have to go with a built block a little bit sooner. I might even just buy the built block during Black Friday as well, just to get a deal and just to have it around. So yeah, so after we cut open the oil filter, we're going to go ahead and see if there's any metal shavings. Also, the oil that drains into our pan, we have a high-powered magnet that we're going to go ahead and swirl it around in there and see if there's any metal shavings in the oil too. So yeah, we're gonna get on with that. So we already took off the air duct. We just gotta remove the intake box, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here is our coil pack right over there. I think that's a 10 millimeter. I'm not sure, but we're going to go ahead and remove that, and the spark plug is right in there. Alright, so we got our spark plug out. We're just going to go ahead and figure out which one of these adapters fits onto it, and then on with the compression test. Alright, so we got our compression tester all hooked up. Just for reference, it is the M12 one, so if you're buying a kit, make sure that it has the M12 fitting on it. So we got this all connected and stuff. Yeah, so a couple more things we got to do before we get this started. So I'm going to go ahead and place this over here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the fuse for the ignition that's in this box right over here. And just as an extra precaution, and also to make sure that we get the best cranks possible, we're going to go ahead and connect a battery charger onto both terminals here. Alright, so according to this, fuse number 11 is the one for the fuel pump, so that's the one that we're going to be removing. So I'm going to keep this right over here. Hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. There's a bit of a glare. Yeah, that looks like it might be better. Alright, let's see how we did. So there it is. That's exactly what both the factory and the shop told me. It was about 90 to 95. I think that it's 90 right now just because the engine has cooled off a little bit, so at least we have an accurate read now. We can confirm it. Alright, so now that we've confirmed that cylinder 1 is indeed low compression, you guys saw the number there, we're going to go ahead and do our oil change. I'll catch you guys in a bit just because I have to charge the battery on the camera. So we got our oil drain now. I'm not sure if this pan can hold everything that's about to come out, so I'm going to try and get as much of it as possible in the pan, and whatever is left over, we're going to go ahead and throw it into our other bigger pan. But yeah, just for this test purpose, we're going to collect it here, and then we'll run the magnet through it. Alright, so we've got our little Frankenstein tool that we just made. We took a bunch of thin wiring, we put it around this pretty strong magnet, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go fishing. Alright, so let's take a look at the results. I don't really see anything on here. Again, even if there is, it might be there, but it might just be so microscopic that we can't pick it up with our eye or on the camera or anything, but I don't really see anything. I'm going to try and get a little bit of a closer look. The only thing I see are some very, very tiny particles, but you guys probably can't see it on the camera, but right over there, just very, very tiny. I don't think it's like a sure sign of like detonation or that we kind of ruined the internals of the engine, so it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's very minor. Let's see if the oil filter picked up anything. Alright, let's open it up and see what's inside. I've never actually opened one of these up before, so let's see what we can find. So nothing visible with the eye. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the magnet again and kind of just go through these, but the hardest thing is actually getting into the inner part of this, so I don't know if we're going to be able to actually do that. Maybe if we remove this piece. Oh yeah, I think if we take this bracket off of this side, this will just slide out, hopefully. Well, as far as this sliding off nice and easily, it's not doing that, so yeah, I don't think we can get into the inner part of this. So we're just going to go ahead and run a magnet through the inside over here and the outside fins, try and get as deep as we can. And we're reusing the same magnet from before, so I'm just going to go ahead and unwrap it and clean it off. So look at all this stuff that it picked up. Now what I'm thinking is this could be shavings from the Sawzall, so we might have just completely messed up this experiment just by using the Sawzall, but that's all we had. Maybe something like a pipe cutter would have been better, but I mean, I don't have one. So they did pick up a lot of stuff. I don't know if this is actually crap or if this just came from the Sawzall. I bet a lot of it is from the Sawzall, but it's hard to say. Now this other side is clean. We can go ahead and run it on the inside of the fins, just like this. So we got some stuff collecting on the magnet on this side as well. So again, it's hard to say if this is actually accurate or not because of the wrong tool that we used, the Sawzall, but you know, it is what it is. But overall, I'd say that this was a fail. So we're gonna go ahead and put this to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the car and add the engine restorer. You know what? I should probably grab a funnel. That was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. Here we go. Better decisions. So that's 5 quarts of oil. Now it's time for this stuff. All right, so let's pray that this stuff works. All right, there it is. Next step is to do a startup, let it run for a little bit, and I'll meet you guys in 1,000 miles. Little side note here, just turned the car on, and this is what's happening. So a lot more smoke. I'm guessing that this is to be expected. Idle is a little bit rough, but yeah, this stuff sure does stink. But I'm sure that it's just working its way into the engine, and that this is all part of it.
3 weeks later.
It's been a few weeks, and here's the update. We managed to put on 194 miles in that time, so there's no way I'm going to get up to 1,000, otherwise this video is going to come out in like 2 months. 200 miles is the minimum that they suggested to allow the restorer to work, so we're going to stick with 194. Let's just say that it's 200, and let's go ahead and check the compression once again. I'm checking it now because I have been noticing some differences, so the car does feel a little bit better. My check engine lights have turned off as well, and you know, the Accessport is no longer throwing codes. It did at first, and I cleared them, so let's see if there is any improvement. All right, what do we got? Yeah, no, it has not changed. It's at still about like 90, 95 maybe this time? I don't know. Oh, whoops, I pressed the button. But yeah, that was like 95. So, didn't really do anything. All right, so not to say that the restorer won't help with your car's issues, it didn't help with mine. I also did it for only 200 miles. They say anywhere between 200 and 1,000, so maybe I just didn't do enough miles to actually see a change. I thought I would see at least a little bit. Some of the videos that I've seen, people have seen improvement within a few hours if they ran their car or vehicle for a couple hours straight, and then it actually did improve it by like, you know, 30 psi or so. But we ended up getting like next to nothing, maybe like 5 maybe. So yeah, so that's pretty much a wrap for this engine block. We're gonna be going with a IAG stage 2 block, hopefully before the end of the year, because by the time we actually get it, I know that sometimes, especially around the holidays now and with their Black Friday sales and all that, IAG is going to be putting out, they're going to be sending out a whole lot of these, so it might not get to us in time. So I'm projecting by late December, early January, this is actually going to get done. I don't know if you guys will see me before then, but hopefully we do come up with some sort of video ideas. But yeah, this car is going with a built block. So with that being said, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Peace.